On page 6 of your linear functions booklet, we're going to go over analyzing, describing our linear graphs. So let's look at the first example. That is our linear parent function, y equals x. Here's some characteristics. The domain, let's label our arrows. So if we label our arrows first, this arrow is going to the left and down. So left means that our x is going to negative infinity. The down means our y is going to negative infinity. This arrow up here is going to the right and up. So that x is going to positive infinity, and the y is also going to positive infinity. So using that, our domain is from negative infinity to positive infinity. On that, you could just put all real numbers. For the range, we do down, up, y. So we look at the down y, the lowest y, that's negative infinity. We look at the up y, the highest y. That's a positive infinity. So we have negative infinity to positive infinity. So that is also all real numbers. Let's look for b. The b is the ordinate part of our y-intercept. Since there's nothing there, we could just think of plus 0. So our b would be 0 here. Our y-intercept is 0, b, so we have 0, 0. Let's go ahead and identify that point on the graph. 0, 0, that's our origin. Now the y-intercept is when it crosses the y-axis. The x-intercept is when it crosses the x-axis. Well, it's the same thing here. We have 0, 0. Now for 0, that is just what is this number right here for the x-intercept. In this case, x equals 0. We look for our slope m. Well, there's nothing in front of the x, so we just have an invisible 1. So we're going to put the m equals 1. Is this line increasing or decreasing? It would be increasing here. We have a positive slope. Positive slopes are always increasing. And then it asks for transformations from the parent. Well, this is the parent function, so there are no transformations. Let's look at the next example. So we have y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 1. Let's find our characteristics. But first, let's label our arrows and find our x-intercept and our y-intercept. So go ahead and pause the video, identify these arrows, and label these points. After labeling everything, you should get this. This arrow is going to the left and up. So left means negative infinity for x, and up means positive infinity for y. This arrow is going to the right and down. So our x is going right, so that means plus infinity. It's going down, so our y would be a minus infinity. If you plot this point, label this point, we have 0, 1. That's going to be our y-intercept. And if you look at this point, it looks like it's about 1.5, 0. So using that, our domain, again, is all real numbers. And this is another way you could write that. X is an element of all real numbers. Well, the range is also all real numbers, so we could put y as an element of all real numbers. Our b is right here. That's 1. So our y-intercept is 0, b, so 0, 1. And then our x-intercept would be 1.5, 0. If you want to double check that, you could solve for x in this equation if you set y equals 0. 0 equals negative 2 over 3 x plus 1. If you solve for this, you should get 1.5. So our 0 is x equals 1.5. Our slope m is negative 2/3. Okay, is this slope increasing or decreasing? Well, the slope is negative, so it would be decreasing, because negative slopes are always decreasing. Okay, transformations from the parent. Well, we have a negative sign. It's on the outside, so that means it reflected across the x-axis. We have a 2/3 on the outside, so that's vertical still. It's a vertical shrink. And then we have a +1 on the outside, so it's a vertical translation. It went up 1. Now see if you can try some more examples on the worksheet from today.